Hello, my name is Geogen and welcome back to Armoured Warfare. This time I'm in the BMPT Terminator, a tier 6 premium vehicle which you could have got as part of the Founders Packs. I myself bought the biggest Founders Pack, in other words the most expensive one, which gave you all of the premium vehicles as a bonus, as well as a bunch of gold and credits and all that jazz. And one of these vehicles was the BMPT Terminator, which is based on a T-72 from the looks of the hull, and has gone away with the turret, which had a manned crew, and has instead replaced it with an automated turret with no crew inside. As you can well imagine, it would be very hard to get anyone inside that. And it has got two 30mm guns, as well as 4 anti-tank guided missiles mounted on the sides there. The vehicle, as you're going to see, is very well armoured from the front. It has nice ERA plating as well, which means heat rounds are ineffective. The side armour is coated with what appears to be rubber, much like the T-72 at tier 5, and it might not actually be rubber, it just looks like a rubberized type of material. And here are the nice 30mm guns going to work. Of course, as you can tell, if you just hit the trigger and keep pulling it down, as it were, keep firing, the dispersion will go up. And firing at distance as well makes the AP ammunition much less effective. So you can see I'm just burst firing at the moment, because otherwise I wouldn't be able to penetrate the fellow Terminator over there. In fact, they just go down to single shots. The Biglit Panzer, I think that's how you say it, is much easier to penetrate, but we only managed to do 71 damage before he goes down. The reload, as you can see, is not too bad. It's 8.46 seconds and you get 40 shells in the clip. But with somewhat lacking penetration, it's quite hard to penetrate things such as yourself at distance, as well as main battle tanks from the front. We managed to just get a sneaky little shot there on the expeditionary tank, and there he goes. I do like the expeditionary tank. It has a very nice 105mm gun, but it has no armour or ERA to save it from heat ammunition. There you can see the other BMPT is struggling to penetrate my front, but he did get a couple of shells in. And again, there you are with me trying to fight him at distance. He did get tracked, however, so we are managing to do very little, 85, 150 of damage, but we have to reload again. I decided to reload the ATGMs, however, which are user guided, so I go for the one at the back there, hit him in the unmanned turret, doing less damage than these rockets can actually do. However, I don't go for the side armor because I think it would just be absorbed by that by the side, as you can see there, where that rubberized material is. I think above that there isn't any ERA, and I might actually be getting confused with the Ramco, which has definitely got ERA playing on the side, much like the front of this vehicle. You may have to playtest around to see if you can penetrate the side with heat ammunition. I myself are going to have to do this as well. I consider going for that Biglit Panzer as well, but if you're getting shot from the side, you want to angle your armor, even if it is 30mm autocannon. 30mm autocannon you might think is a bit mediocre, but if you get somebody's side armor which hasn't got sufficient protection, you're going to rip them apart very quickly. As I intend to do on this M60. It seems that I'm hitting him in the wrong place, however, because we only managed to do about 200 damage. And I'm surprised I didn't actually kill him in that first encounter. I decided to reload though, because there's no point having half a clip when you're engaging a tank. And this time we just tear him up so very quickly indeed, he can't even react. I know there was an MVT-70 in front of him, but still. These are what these AFVs are very good at, hunting the side and rear of enemy vehicles. You can see the vehicle is actually quite fast as well, and I consider going to the right hand side where the main pocket of enemy resistance is, but I can get some good shots on the 3 remaining enemies on the left hand side of the map by going all the way round. As you can tell, the enemy cap circle is just there, lit up by those red flares. But I'm not going to go for it because otherwise that would highlight my position. Something that a lot of World of Tanks players and a lot of you guys watching will already know. Giving away a position like that is not what you want to do in this kind of stealthy situation. Consider crossing the river, but I realise the crossing is just ahead. So I kind of muck up my approach a little bit, but all well. So far we've taken quite a bit of damage, but we still have about 2/3 of our health, and we've only had track damage mostly. So we're just looking for those enemy tanks, which hopefully are distracted by our allies up front, including that chieftain, who definitely is distracted. But he's definitely noticed us now as his gun is turning this way. And now we load our rockets into the side of a very large and poorly armoured tank. And we don't even need to hit his side for that, we just hit his turret and do explosive exterior damage. And now we're in a bit of a fight with that BMPT again. I really want to connect 2 more shells because that's all it will take, but he is behind all of those oil fields. It's very hard to actually hit anything. I was considering taking the shot with my rockets, but I think there is some form of obstacle in the way, so I decide to cease fire. Also, I just noticed that Chieftain Mark 5 actually got a hit into us earlier with Hesh, but he did very little damage indeed. I think the front of this vehicle, as well as having ERA, has very nice composite armour, which makes the effectiveness of the armour much thicker against AP and probably mitigates a lot of the HE as well. Now I know the crossing is literally about 20 meters up the road from here, but I can get across the river just about with about 3 seconds left on the clock before drowning. Very similar mechanics to that of World of Tanks, in the fact that you have around 10 seconds to get out of submerged water. Submerged water? That doesn't make any sense. To get out of water whilst you're submerged. There we go. I must say, when I'm on desert maps, I quite enjoy looking at the dust that's kicked up from the dust and sand that's kicked up from the tracks when you go over it, and it's passing through between each tread and each wheel, which is quite nice to see. T-72 Ural from a far enough distance, such as this, 500 odd meters, is never going to really do anything to him. Maybe I'll get the lucky odd penetration, but I doubt it. Too slow to hit the leopard there. Reloading. So we reload and relocate. Always on the move in this thing. It's very, very mobile, as I say, for its size. It's not as mobile as things like Foxes, certainly. Foxes are ludicrously fast and they have such good ATGMs, as you probably saw if you watched my T-72 video. And this is what we want to see, the side and rear of the leopard. He does get a shot into us and does track us. Launches smoke in an effort to hide from my machine gun fire. But he goes down. And he was spotted anyway due to the Typhoon 2 and the Fox on our team. So that's all I'm really going to get in this game. That T-72 is going to go down before I managed to get that. Yep, he's gone. And the Fox is in our base. But that was 4 kills, 3,100 damage. And not a bad game for the Terminator. So we'll just take a look at the post-game stats and the income and XP and all that jazz. So there we are, almost 8,000 experience with premium and 327,000 credits to add to our almost 7 million. You may be wondering why I have such a lot. It's because I bought the Collector's Edition, I think it's called, where you get the RDF light tank, the Typhoon 2, the Object 430, LAV 150-90, 6 million credits, bunch of gold, 120 days of premium time. It's about 50 quid, I think. But if you convert that into World of Tanks, you don't get hardly near as much if you spend a similar amount of money on that game. I'm not saying I don't like World of Tanks, I'm just saying I prefer the premium offers in the Armoured Warfare shop. So anyway, if you enjoyed the video, please be sure to leave a like down below, and I'll see you chaps and chapettes in the next one.